A first carry for Tyler Algier.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Algier will try to pick it up.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. Faced with their first third down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen third down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Henderson running straight ahead. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
On second, here's Algier.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Holding offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Give to Algier from the shotgun.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He opted to go with the scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. The Steelers send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Fielded at the 20. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
The Seahawks at 12-3 now on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because, to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning, but how they're getting it done.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And some room to roam now. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Mayfield to throw it. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. To Williams on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. That's complete right around the 8. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Got
touchdown, Seahawks. Jamison Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we could walk away with a win. This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Bridgewater. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC.
And what they do know is that they'll be playing at home come January, at least for one game, as they have locked up the NFC West.
And everyone wants that top spot, partner. We know that because that guarantees you home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But whether or not that's in the cards or not, you have to be impressed with how this team is playing.
A good pickup there at 22.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing the offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. That's complete once again to Hopkins.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Judy. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah,
touchdown! Zach Ertz, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Slide for the PAT.
And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive.
And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fielded right around the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
The throw over the middle taken in. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Henderson will try and run for the first. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
How about this? They'll try the option. Left side. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. Bridgewater. Now they go screen. It's complete.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The offense on 3rd down tonight. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And right side, they're going to go option here. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now Bridgewater.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Casey Hayward.
And the Seahawks are going to get it back here just past the 35.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Mayfield.
This will go to Henry out wide. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
First down carry for Henry. And some room to work. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
63 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Now an injured player here, so a stoppage, and that's Jamison Williams who's shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Finding Ertz here on the out route. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on third downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this first and goal.
Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3. And I think
now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have recovered. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. First down, Mayfield.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Inside handoff, Henry. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
From down at the 12, it's first and 10.
Mayfield now.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield looks to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on third down. Throwing, Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
What's interesting, when we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it.
And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
That'll be swung out wide here for Henderson.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium, as they'll have to contend with the San Francisco 49ers. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the LA Rams. And one final game to highlight. It's Sunday Night Football, and they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Steelers in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter.
Second half begins with a run by Henry. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Complete. It's Henry. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Seahawks send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
First down, and they'll start with Algier.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Bridgewater. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sand. Throwing, Bridgewater. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
And right side, Henry's got it. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down.
He's got this complete to Williams. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Running left, it's Henry. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Henry. And he's got room.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Mayfield. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring sixes, not threes. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture of the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed,
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And taken right on the 30.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. And not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45.
A run here for J.D. McKissick.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Mayfield.
Right side to Williams.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. On 3rd down, Henry. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And the Steelers set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. From the gun, a give to Henderson.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the 44, Bridgewater. And this is caught, Jennings. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 37. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he'll find Moreau here.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
From the 31, Bridgewater. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Algier on the option.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here's Algier again on 2nd down.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And right side, they're going to go option here. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. They'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Desperation time. 4th down. Bridgewater. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Teddy Bridgewater scoring on the 2-yard keeper.
And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside.
Fielded right around the 8.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And the busy night for Henry continues. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Mayfield to throw it. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Bridgewater on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. 3rd and short yardage. Bridgewater. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. Henry up the middle.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
They'll run it again with Henry. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
This one from 46 yards out.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater got his man complete over the middle. That's Sutton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A first down throw for Bridgewater. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And again, it's Bridgewater. Dancing, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
George Karlaftis in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Oh, and Bridgewater intercepted for the 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick 6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally,
Jennings lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Henry. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
122 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th